Alrighty, welcome back. We've got this side mudded out. Jolene's helped me this morning doing a little bit of mudding on this side, get some more mud on it. What I'm putting all the mud on it for is that we want to go to work and sand it. We don't want to go back and forth trying to put it on, take it off, put it on. We want to just put it all on at once and do it as quick as possible. And then we go for it. But I'm going to sand some mud off the back of this quarter panel. I've got the quarter panel covered. I'm going to try to flatten it out. I'm going to flatten the flood till it looks like glass, or try to. It's not going to happen the first time, but it takes time, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a second, I'm going to turn you around. Yesterday we worked on the 36. I've got it chopped to where I like it. Yes, I do. Yesterday I was doing the front window, putting that in. There was a comment on Facebook or YouTube, I'm not sure, but Jolene said that the guy said you should have cut it all the way across to the windshield wipers. And that man is probably 99% right. I probably should have cut it across to there and cut it across to there so it would let this fold down a little bit. I got a little gap going on right here and a little gap going on right here because this did not turn down like the post did. And then on the other hand, I'm thinking like Jolene said, well, if we're making a race car out of it, I can fix this, obviously. I can. I was thinking about just cutting the lip down here and just knocking the lip down so the window sets down. But as me and Jolene get talking about it, she said, why would you do that when we're building a race car and we want to make it as light as possible? Why would we not put a piece of plexiglass in for the window? And that, if I put a piece of plexiglass in it, it would be a lot lighter than that, and that's probably where we will go. I'm thinking about drilling a bunch of holes in it and doing a bunch of stuff to it that we can. It's fun to try to use your brain to figure out how to make something weigh as less as possible and quick as possible for an old flathead. This is just for having fun doing this. That's for having fun. Thinking about that sort of stuff. Doing the truck, sanding the truck, and putting a truck on top of a car on top of a truck is for fun. That's basically what it's for. And I appreciate everybody that watches and hangs around, gives comments and stuff like that, because I know how much that when you're in the, or I know when you're in the garage or in the shop, that life does not exist outside and how your brain is here. I really enjoy that part, that I get to think about this stuff all the time with me and Jolene. And it helps, you know, it really does. It makes the world much better in my eyes when I get to dream about an old car and get to look at Jolene. Jolene looks amazing today. If Jolene behaves herself, I'm going to let her sand a little bit. That's not true. I'm going to let Jolene sand a little bit, though, just to show you that, you know, she can do it, I can do it, anybody can do it. That's basically what's going on. Also, as we get going on further with the race car, as we get going on for the race car, it's going to be fun. To me, it's going to be fun. I'm having fun in my brain, thinking about all the things that I want to do or not to do. But I'm going to sand this quarter panel off just as quick as I can for me and you. I'm going to put my mask on first. Where am I put my mask at, sweetheart? There it is right there. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I've got an old pad on right now. Just trying to see if it's going to bite if it's going to bite the material or not. If it does not, I'll just take it off and put a new one. Drained the water out of the air compressor for the first time in about 2 years, 3 years. Wow. I know, not very good maintenance. You can see inside that. This is the highest part of the flood. This is the flood I want to get down to this area. Not busting out real good. I'm going to change it. Not not working fast enough for me. Hand paper, sanding around edges. If I come up here, this would be for sanding something like this around here. Be a nice piece of paper for that around there. I'm hoping that if you see a customized car anywheres or something that you've never seen before, I'm hoping that you're beginning to realize how much work's involved in getting something that way. And that's why people are so uptight, or not uptight, I guess, about someone touching their car. Like, there's so much work involved for me and Jolene to build this truck and put a race car back, and to have someone disrespect it is very disheartening, because I know and she knows how much work's involved, and I know everybody else that works on old cars realizes too. It's just sometimes it gets neglected. There we go. Now we're peeling. Just like an onion. I'll do the top of this and I'll give you a chance. Hitting fiberglass, just letting me know that I'm getting close. That's what it's letting me know. But I gotta keep sanding that to try to get that. You know, that's basically the end of it. You also can see how the body fill is sticking to the fiberglass. I'm sanding it, trying to rip it off, and it's not ripping it off, it's feathering off, so it's sticking. And that's a good thing. You can see how thin that is. There's a body fill and there's the metal right there. You can see how really thin it is, you know. There's not much. And we're getting real thin here. In other places it's thicker. So don't whatever. I'm on metal right there. I'm hitting it now. So I best just stay away from it, and that way there, I'm not taking off too much filler. I don't want to take it off. I'm going to put more on. And also, I've never raced a thing in my life. Never raced anything in my life. So I'm not going to pretend I know anything because I really don't know, but I know how to build a car. Sure, baby. It's all for fun and my pleasure and Jolene's pleasure. Crisscrossing it so it bites faster. That's what I'm doing. Crisscrossing it, holding it flat, as you can tell. Moving quickly all the time, not staying in one spot. Metal. 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 Just showing how, you know, how thin it is, basically. Just trying to get the flood all one flood. You can see this is what's going on here. I'm at bare metal here. I am bare metal there. I've got a little bit showing on that flood, so I'm going to have to come over and skim that with more filler to make that look right. That's what I'm thinking. I might be able to take some more off and get it, but I'm showing a lot of metal around everywhere. I can't go past the metal. That's the ocean floor. I mean, there'd be no sense of that. I can beat it in, put more fill in it, and then go down further and beat it in, put more fill in it. Doesn't make sense. It's pretty shy. I mean, it's pretty shy, but probably have to hit that with something. I can take that out. Yes, I can. But if I take it out and do this, I've just destroyed what I've started. So I've got to hold it flat, keep it flat, and stay with it flat. If I do not get it, you have to come back and put more in it. That's all there is to it. Try not to dig it. I could dig that out. Yes, I could. But that's going backwards. For those who have not noticed, the race car has got the same body style as the truck on the top. This is 36, 35, that is 35, 36, whatever, I'm not quite sure. But they both have the same body lines on the doors and the quarters as that one has. So it should look pretty good on the back, hanging off it. I want to show how I'd fix that front window just for a second. I'm going to pull the front window out here. We've got a gap going on here and a gap going on there, like a finger gap sort of going on. The front down front fits okay. When I pull this out, the guy suggested on Facebook or YouTube, one of the others suggested cutting all the way across. I would have left a little bit there, yes. I've done that before. I forget what I've done that on. But I would, yes. Anyways, it's not fitting, and probably the right way to have been to cut it would have been to cut it all the way up here and just leave a little piece hanging on. So we could connect it. But as it's sitting on here, that means I would cut here, right over to there, and I would cut a straight line and the round line and just pull that down with a pair of channel locks and then weld it back together, and then I could get that lay down flat. So I just cut that along there, cut a straight cut across, and then pull this line here down with a pair of channel locks and weld it back shut, and then I think it would fit. That would be my fit if I was going to do it. But I'm thinking with the plexiglass in the window, because the heft of that, I don't know if there's much sense. But I still had to fix it in my own brain, and that's how I would have done it, or that's how I might even still do it. I don't know, but I don't know if there's any sense. I don't know if there's any sense. Got the post welded up on it. You can see that. I didn't finish that last night. It got dark. And I ran to the house. We started with an awful heavy body, I think, to make it a light race car, right? I'm talking to Jolene. You're almost up. Are you ready? I'm just going to smooth this off, and I'll let you try to grab that, okay? Haven't hit no metal yet. Trying to get this part out, a little bit of there. You can see a little bit here. Hitting fiberglass, I'm getting close. Haven't hit no metals, I'm way back here, so I can still take some off. Got metal. Gonna leave that a little bit alone. Sorry about that, sweetheart. metal. You want to try some, Jolene? All right, Jolene's going to try a little bit. See what happens here. I'm just going to wipe this off just to show you what's going on. Just going to show you what's going on before we let you go into it, baby. So this is what I'm saying as I'm holding this flat. We're good here. We got our ocean floor right there. Our fiberglass is right there. We know our body fill is sticking to our fiberglass because we're sanding it and it's feathering off. So we're okay with not sanding the fiberglass. This is a low spot in the flood. The low spot in the flood, you can see it. It's a low spot in the flood, has to be gotten. Have to swipe that again. Low spot in the flood up here. Have to be swiped again. We know we're okay, we're hitting metal right there. We can keep going and take it out, but it will not look good because we'll be digging it out when we're not, it just will not look good. So stop when you're hitting the bare metal and go with it. But I'm gonna let Jolene try some of this. I have another tool that I use quite a bit, and this is called the electric DA. 40 grit on the same thing. It's going to be probably quite heavy for Jolene's arms. Yes, it is. But she's just going to hold that flat on that panel, show you that she can do it just as well as I can do it. I'll trade you. Okay. I'm going to take the cremera, and Jolene's going to take the DA, and Jolene's going to go for it. This is a electric DA. It's not an air. It's electric. What can I say? Yeah, it'll work you silly. No air compressor needed, just electricity. You can go anywheres in sand filler. Go for it. You want to move, fairly quick at this because it does peel it off good. Yeah, and just keep holding it flat at all times. Baby, turned off. You can slow it down a little bit if you like. It's on the end. There's a dial there to slow it down, speed it up, whatever you want. We start it on the car and stop it on the car generally. The slower, going to turn her up a little bit. There you go. The slower you go with sandpaper, generally the better it cuts. I know he's jumping around there a little bit, but that doesn't matter as long as you're holding it flat. Try not to angle it, sweetheart. Holding it flat. Try not to run down on the other panel either with your sandpaper. Where I just sand it, try to leave that corner. That's got to be done by hand. You can see how she's flattening off the flood, and you can see the shiny parts. That's where the flood is not down to the... Grabbing hard on you? Sort of. Yeah, it's biting quite hard. Slow it down. You can speed it up maybe a little bit. Speed it up for yourself a little bit. You can see as she's going here, the flood has to come down to there, but the flood is looking nice and flat, so just has to keep on rocking and rolling until you get that out of there. And you'd want to stop before you hit bare metal. Also, we do not want to run the sandpaper down on this line and affect this. We want to keep it just away from it, and we'll do it by hand. Go for it, sweetheart. Turn it up some. Probably 4.5, 5. There we go. It's a machine that you really have to hold on to, you know. Jolene's 100 pounds, so watch the line down below, sweetheart. You're running the butt. There you go. Well done. Looks good. Moving around quickly she is, and that's the way you got to do it. You can't stay in one spot. Awesome. Hold it flat if you can. I get out of there for a little while. We'll go up front here again. Go up front here again. I get out of there for a little while. Don't angle it. Hold it flat. He's saying yes because it's looking good. You can see how the flood's coming down flat. You can see how it's coming down. It really is. It really is. Can you tell? You must tell. Yeah, you can tell. Try not to run it down on the other stuff. Try to hold it flat also at the same time. No, hold it flat. You got dig in there for a second, if you know what I'm saying. I don't mean to be like that, but that's where the mistakes are made, right? You really have to make sure that you're holding it flat at all times, and that's the only way you can get a true read off that DA. If you start tilting it in any way, then that's when you get into a problem. And I've had a lot of people say that I can't do it that way. No, can't do it that way, but I've taught myself and I can, and there's no can't for me. Beautiful. Well done. You can see, I'll let Jolene take over the camera again. You can see that this is flat and smooth where the ocean floor is not go down there yet. She's not hit the metal yet, not whatsoever, but I'm going to go right behind her and I'm going to take it a little bit further and hold my DA flat and try to get that bottom where it's not, where the flood isn't down as far. I'm going to take some more off of this. I'm going to take more off of this to get down to that without hitting metal. That's the winner right there, without hitting metal. If you hit metal, then you know the ocean floor is right there, and that's when it looks bad. You're not only good looking, you're good at body work too, baby. Aiden got it here just the right time. Metal. Not too bad. You can see how I was holding it flat and I didn't get over here because it was going around here and I did not get that, but that's good. Whoops, sorry. Stay away from it. Metal. See the metal. Trying to get the flood. See that little spot right there? That's where the ocean floor is. I don't want to go any further than that. That's what I call hand sanding down in there. Keep beating that around. That's just called hand sanding down there. We've got it to metal right there. It's fiberglass right there, so we're doing good. That's hand sanding there. Let's go back to the electric DA. You can't beat the electric DA, I don't find. You can take it anywhere. The power doesn't slow down. It's continuous power. The air compressor has to go off and on. With that electric DA, it does not. Ow! Like that old saying goes, I got two of them, so I just keep on going. on this line going down the side, this was a 4-door car. When that line goes down the side with all them lines in the doors, I don't know of many of them are put together that they all lined up very nice, because this one did not. But as I'm filling it out, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make this line look like it has no doors, like it's never had any doors, and that it's perfectly straight, when I know that it wasn't perfectly straight from factory. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make it look like perfectly straight. Hit the metal in the back. Let's continue on here. That makes me happy. I got that. There's a low spot in the flood, and I got it because I had enough material. Basically what I do is I start anywhere I want to, and try to make one spot. Like I'm trying to make this spot flat right now. I'm trying to make this flood flat. And what I try to do is I try to continue along as I go all the way up without going too far and getting the flood right. Starting to show metal there. Gotta slide ahead. I have to take this down to get that without hitting the high spot. Hitting fiberglass. We're getting close. Also, I've used, you can see the other side that sand it. I've used 5 sandpaper so far. 4 or 5, only, I've used 4 or 5 of the 8-inch sandpaper to sand the whole side on that side. And I'll have probably 4 or 5 put on this side, so we'll have probably 10 pieces of paper to flatten this car out. Probably a few more of the 8-inch 40s, we'll do a few of those. But this stuff really works good. Fiberglass, probably getting close to the sunshine patch, probably. Metal, getting out of there right now, I think. Get out of there right now, we're showing metal there. put one buddy to sleep doing this, didn't I? One buddy went to sleep watching me sand body fill. Well, I hope you're having a peaceful nap. Hope you're having a peaceful nap. Must be where the back door's coming on. I'm thinking right around there somewhere. Trying to get this line down here, so I'm holding it flat this way. I'm not like this, it goes up on around there. I'm trying to hold it like flat, so this part holds this flat is what I'm trying for. That's what I'm doing. Metal showing there. Fiberglass, we're getting close. This must be the other door. Did the opening maybe? You can see how thin that is and how much I sanded. I can sand. It's very thin. Metal showing right there. I'm going to say that this quarter, as you see what's going on here right now, I just knock it off here a little bit. We'll just talk about it for a second. We'll talk about it for a second. And then we'll give away a hat or a shirt. Right on. Hat or a shirt for somebody, just for watching. You can't get no better than that. But I'm happy to give away a hat or a shirt because we got some pretty awesome people on our YouTube and our Facebook. There's some good people out there. I want to give them all good credit. People who give good comments. I know who you are because you give good comments. You're a good person. And those who give bad ones, they're just not working as hard as I am. That's all. You know. You have to realize, you have to realize those who knock aren't working as hard, and those who give comments are, you know, whatever. But anyways, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. We're at fiberglass, 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 metal, 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 metal. And basically what I want to do is I want to try to flatten that down so it looks like a flood on a piece of glass. And you can see how I sand it and sand it and sand. You can see that's so thin, but it still looks like body fill. So as it still looks like body fill, it still can be really thin. And it can be really thick too. So it is what it is. But there's a quarter panel that's sanded out. As we look at this, and I have this low spot, that low spot, that low spot, that low spot, it's going to be very hard for me not to come in and mud the whole thing again. I'm going to have to just come in and give it a little tiny swipe, little swipe. And the reason I don't like doing that is because once I put a little filler on that and I'm sanding it, that also means you're sanding that and that. And if you're not careful, then you destroy all of it because of that. I generally like to coat it again. We'll see what goes on there. Just a nice skim coat, a very nice thin skim coat, and do it all at once. But you have to be careful. It's the exact same thing as welding a panel on a car. If you're going to grind the metal beside the weld mark, the new metal, well, you must realize you're grinding the old metal thinner than it was in the first place. And that's, to me, is not a good thing. Using, when I first learned this stuff, I was thought, to tap the dents out and file it and try to pick and file. If you're not careful doing that stuff, you really can ruin what you're working on. You really can. And I generally would like to leave all the strength in it and then try to destroy it to try to make it that much less filler. It doesn't make sense to me. But let's give away a hat or a shirt. Where's it at? You want to take it to the front? Take it to the front. This is what this side looks like. This side went really well. We haven't touched it since. The lines on the wheel wells are big and fat right now. I can make them a lot thinner. Yes, I can. But I really want to have more product on there so I do not have to go back in and back out, back in and back out. That's what I don't want. Let's give away a hat or a shirt, baby. Come on, sweetie pie. Jolene did an amazing job today, sweetheart. Huh? How'd that shake you up, huh? A little rough? It had good sharp sandpaper on it, and that's why it was jumping on you. Oh, there's Jolene on Facebook right now mixing mud. I was playing with the window of the race car, thinking whether I wanted to fix that spot in the center, because I didn't want to pry the window down. I could see the window prying down. And I just had to come up and see how I would fix it if I wanted to. The comment the guy made about cutting it all the way across in between the white, that would probably have done it. Yes, it would have. But I didn't. And that's things you get into. There's more than one way to skin a cat. 557 comments. I like a 57 Chevy and a 57 Ford, to be honest with you, and a 57 Jaguar, and a 50. I like them all. Frank Schwartz. Frank Schwartz, you've won a hat or a shirt of your choice. Yeah, you knew what you were doing. It's a good chop and quick. Yeah, I sort of knew what I was doing, but there's parts I get into that you have to stop and use your brain. When I pulled that window post out, I should have probably known that when I pulled the window post out, when I cut it just that little ways, that it wasn't bending right in the center. I should have probably known that. But as I get going, I don't think it matters anyways. I think we're going to go the lightest piece of glass we can get, are we not, sweetheart? Probably. And we're going to try and make it as fast as we can for our flathead car, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. It won't be too fast. It will be scared or nervous or anything, but I just think it'll be a nice adrenaline rush. And Frank Schwartz, thank you for the comment, and peace out, everybody. Jolene looks amazing today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Come on back. We'll see you tomorrow. Come on back.